Ever said something you regretted in anger? Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Today, you'll learn 9 situations where silence is your ultimate power move, and how Stoicism proves it. Number 1, when you're angry, you've been there. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your coworker takes credit for your work. Your partner says something that makes your blood boil. And in that moment, your fingers twitch, your jaw clenches. You're this close to firing back with words you can't take back. But Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king who ruled Rome, wrote in his private journal, "How much more harmful are the consequences of anger than the causes?" Think about that. The reaction, the explosion, is always worse than the thing that triggered it. Here's the brutal truth. Anger is a trap. It feels powerful in the moment, but it's really your weakest self taking over. Let me give you a real-life test. Imagine this. You get an email from your boss. It's unfair. It's insulting. Your face gets hot. You start typing a furious reply. "How dare you?" Finger hovering over send. Now, freeze that frame. What happens if you hit send? Maybe you feel a rush of satisfaction for about 10 seconds. Then reality sets in. You've just torched a professional relationship, maybe even your career. But what if, instead, you closed the laptop, walked away, slept on it? 24 hours later, you realize that email wasn't even about me. My boss was stressed. I can respond calmly now. Which outcome would Marcus Aurelius choose? The answer's obvious. Here's your Stoic survival tool for anger. Before you react, ask yourself one question. Will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, and it almost always is, silence is your superpower. Not suppression, not weakness, strategic silence. The kind that keeps your dignity intact and your future self out of messes. Because here's what the Stoics knew. Anger is like grabbing a hot coal to throw at someone. You get burned first. So next time that heat rises in your chest, stop, breathe. Ask the 5-year question, and let silence do the heavy lifting. Number 2, when someone insults you. Let me tell you about the day I learned the real power of silence. I was 23, working my first corporate job. A senior manager, let's call him Mr. Kapoor, hated me from day one. In front of 15 colleagues, he said, "You only got this job because of your college name. You're useless at actual work." My face burned. My hands shook. I wanted to scream, "You're a 50-year-old failure bullying interns." But then I remembered Marcus Aurelius. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. So I did something radical. I stayed silent, just looked him in the eye, nodded slightly, and went back to typing. The room got so quiet, you could hear the AC humming. Here's what happened next. Mr. Kapoor started stammering, adding, I mean, you need to improve," proving he knew he'd crossed the line. 3 senior colleagues later pulled me aside to say, "You handled that like a pro." That manager never insulted me again. This is Stoic warfare at its finest. Why silence destroys insults. Faster pace, like revealing battle tactics. Your insulter wants your anger, proof they hurt you. Your attention, validation they matter. An equal opponent lowers you to their level. Silence denies them all 3. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayals daily as emperor. His solution? The nearer a man comes to calmness, the closer he is to strength. 3-step Stoic defense, practical teacher tone. The 3-second rule. When insulted, count 1, 2, 3 in your head. This prevents emotional reactions, makes them squirm in the silence. The Buddha smile, not a smirk. A slight, calm smile that says, "How interesting that you think that." The disarm phrase, say with genuine curiosity, "I'll think about that," or "You might be right." Lean in confidentially. This isn't surrender, it's psychological jujitsu. You're using their attack energy against them. Modern-day gladiators, Elon Musk gets called fraud daily on Twitter. Notice he only responds to facts, never insults. Ranveer Singh, when trolled about his outfits, "I love how passionate you are about my clothes." They understand. Reaction is oxygen for bullies. Your silent superpower. Every insult is a test. Will you sink to their level or prove you operate on higher ground? Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your silence isn't empty. It's your armor, your revenge, your victory. The next time words are thrown like knives, let them clatter to the ground, while you walk forward, unharmed. Number 3. When you're tempted to gossip, let me tell you about the most expensive free thing in the world. Gossip. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Simple words, brutal meaning. Picture this Monday morning. Sarah from accounting leans in. "Hey, did you hear about Mark's divorce? Apparently he..." The words slither into your ear. They feel exciting, important. But here's what's really happening. You're now part of the rumor chain. You've just taken someone's private pain and turned it into entertainment, and worst of all, you've shown everyone your character. In ancient Rome, the Stoics had a rule. Before speaking, let your words pass through 3 gates. 1. Is it true? 2. Is it necessary? 3. Is it kind? Gossip fails all 3, every single time. Watch any office, the gossip crew. They're the human equivalent of trashy tabloids. Fun sometimes, but nobody respects them. The person who stays quiet, they become the vault, the confidant, the leader. Practical Stoic exercise. Try this for 1 week. When gossip comes your way, physically step back. Say, "I'd rather not know." Watch how people start treating you differently. Here's the Stoic secret. Every time you choose silence over gossip, you're not just protecting others. You're building your reputation brick by brick. Number 4. When you're winning. You just closed the deal, won the argument, achieved something nobody thought you could. That rush of victory, it's addictive. But here's where 99% of people fail. They start celebrating before the war is even over. Marcus Aurelius faced this daily. As emperor, he could have boasted after every battle. Instead, he wrote, "Let not your triumph be heard, but felt." Let me show you why this works. Remember Khabib Nurmagomedov? After submitting Conor McGregor in 2018, he didn't scream, didn't trash talk. He simply sat in the center of the octagon, and in that silence, he became immortal. 3 reasons silent winners dominate. Loud celebrations reveal insecurity. When you need everyone to know you won, you're still seeking approval. Silence creates mystery. People wonder, how good are they really? When you don't brag, it conserves energy. Every victory speech takes focus away from your next goal. Here's how to apply this today. After a win, take 1 deep breath instead of posting. If complimented, say, "Thank you." Then change the subject. Channel that victory energy into your next challenge. Marcus didn't journal about his military victories. He wrote about self-control after winning. That's the mark of true strength. Your success isn't measured by noise. It's measured by what you do next. Win, nod, move forward. Number 5. When someone else is talking. How many times today did you actually listen? I don't mean nodding while waiting for your turn to speak. I mean real listening. the kind Marcus Aurelius practiced when leading an empire. Epictetus, the slave-turned-Stoic teacher, put it bluntly. Nature gave us one tongue but two ears for a reason. But here's why we fail. We think silence during conversations is passive, weak. Warren Buffett spends 80% of every meeting listening. The Oracle of Omaha built a $100 billion empire by mastering what most can't handle: the discomfort of not speaking. 3 hidden costs of interrupting. You leak power. Every unnecessary word dilutes your authority. You miss golden information. The quietest person hears what others don't. You train people to ignore you. Like the boy who cried, "Wolf with opinions." Here's how to practice Stoic listening today. The 3-second rule. After someone finishes speaking, count silently to 3. Before responding, note 1 physical detail: their tapping foot, their breathing pattern. This anchors you in presence. Ask how, not why. How did that make you feel? Creates depth where why creates defensiveness. Marcus Aurelius's journals reveal his nightly ritual, reviewing conversations to catch moments he spoke unnecessarily. That's the discipline of a true leader. The next time you're in a conversation, imagine your words cost $1,000 each. Watch how your value in the room changes. Observe how much more people reveal. Silence isn't just golden. It's the ultimate advantage. Number 6. When someone is trying to provoke you, they want a reaction from you. The coworker who throws subtle jabs, the internet troll craving attention, the relative who pushes your buttons at family dinners. Marcus Aurelius faced this daily. Senators trying to bait him, generals testing his patience. His solution? The best revenge is to not be like your enemy. Let me show you why this works better than clapping back. Case study: the lawyer's silence. In courtrooms, when opposing attorneys make cheap shots, the sharpest lawyers do something counterintuitive. They don't respond. That silence does 3 things. Makes the attacker look desperate, gives you time to craft the perfect counter move, preserves your mental energy for what actually matters. Why your brain wants to react when provoked. Your amygdala screams, "Defend yourself." But the Stoics knew every reaction gives the provoker power over you. Anger is literally addictive. Your brain gets a dopamine hit from fighting back. The person who stays calm controls the entire situation. 3 Stoic strategies that work today. The 24-hour rule. Before responding to any provocation, wait 1 full day. 90% of the time, you won't reply at all. The mirror technique. Simply repeat their words back to them slowly. So what I hear you saying is, watch how quickly they backtrack. The silent smile. Just smile warmly, without speaking. This unnerves people more than any comeback. Marcus Aurelius had absolute power. He could have executed anyone who disrespected him. Yet his journal is filled with reminders like, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I meet today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant. He expected provocation, prepared for it. That's why it never controlled him. Your challenge starting today. Next time someone tries to bait you, notice the physical sensations: racing heart, clenched jaw. Breathe deeply through your nose 3 times. Ask yourself, would Marcus waste his energy on this? True power isn't in the last word. It's in walking away with your peace intact. Number 7. When you don't know the answer. We've all been there. Someone asks a question you should know. Your mind races. Your palms sweat. The pressure to respond immediately builds. This is where most people self-destruct. Marcus Aurelius faced this constantly as emperor. Advisors demanding instant decisions on life or death matters. His solution? If anyone can refute me, Let them try. I'll welcome it. Not defensive, not pretending, just open. The Elon Musk example. At a Tesla earnings call, when Musk didn't know an answer, he said, "That's a great question. I'll get back to you with data." The stock price rose after his admission. Why this works: shows security in your knowledge gaps, builds trust through honesty, gives you time to craft a superior response. 3. Hidden costs of fake answers. Credibility, debt. Every made-up answer erodes trust. Decision fatigue, pretending, drains mental energy, missed learning. You stay ignorant about what matters. Stoic strategies for I don't know. Moments. The power, pause. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Let me think about that. Say it slowly. 80% of questions don't require instant answers. The framework, response. I know X about this, but Y is outside my expertise. Here's how I'd find out. The journal method. Keep a knowledge gaps notebook like Aurelius did. Review it weekly. Why this was revolutionary in ancient Rome. Most emperors pretended omniscience. Marcus famously consulted experts daily, writing, "To what use am I now putting my soul?" Examine yourself constantly. Stand up straighter, voice more commanding. Your challenge today. Next time you're stumped, notice the urge to bluff. Your body will tense. Say with confidence, "I'll give that the proper thought it deserves." Follow up within 24 hours. Remember, the strongest leaders aren't walking encyclopedias. They're masters at responsibly handling what they don't know. Number 8. When emotions are high. Your partner says that word. Your boss takes credit for your work again. A stranger cuts you off in traffic. And suddenly, you're not you anymore. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You're just a soul carrying a corpse. Keep that corpse under control." Harsh? Maybe, but necessary. The divorce study that changed everything. Researchers found 83% of failed marriages had one thing in common: partners who couldn't implement a 60-minute silence rule during heated arguments. The successful 17%. They mastered what Aurelius called the discipline of assent, pausing between emotion and action. Why your brain betrays you. Amygdala hijack. Emotional floods literally reduce your IQ by 10 to 15 points. Body memory. Your muscles tense in patterns from childhood fights. Chemical addiction. Anger releases the same dopamine hit as nicotine. Pace slowly like a caged animal. 3. Stoic emergency. Protocols. The gladiator's breath. What Roman fighters used. Inhale through nose for 6 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale through pursed lips for 7 seconds. Repeat until you can feel your fingertips again. The broken record technique. I hear you. I need 1 hour to respond properly. Say nothing else. Walk away, if safe. The mortality reminder. Ask, will this matter on my deathbed? 90% of the time, your future self will laugh at today's emergency. Marcus' personal battle. His journals reveal nightly reviews of every emotional reaction, especially with his treacherous son, Commodus. He'd write, "Today I nearly lost my temper at what would virtue demand instead?" Suddenly sit down, voice dropping to a whisper. Your survival toolkit. Starting now, identify your physical warning signs: clenched jaw, hot ears. Create a cooling off ritual. Walk around the block, cold water on wrists. Prepare 3 go-to phrases for emotional emergencies. Let me sit with that. I want to give this the response it deserves. We're better than this. The strongest moments of your life won't be when you spoke, but when you chose silence despite every cell screaming to erupt. Number 9. When silence itself is the message. There's a silence that speaks louder than screaming. Steve Jobs mastered it. His legendary 10-second pauses made Apple keynotes unforgettable. Queen Elizabeth II wielded it. Her wordless stares could dismantle prime ministers. Marcus Aurelius perfected it. His imperial silence ended wars before they began. This isn't just not speaking. This is strategic silence as a weapon. The neuroscience of power, pauses, dominance display. In primate troops, the alpha never reacts immediately. Cognitive dissonance. Silence forces others to fill the void, often revealing weaknesses. Status signaling. The more important the person, the longer they can comfortably wait to respond. Walk slowly across the frame, footsteps audible. 3 situations where silence destroys words. After asking a damning question, who gave the order, the next person to speak loses. During negotiations, they offer 10KYO USAYNO THING. THEISAY 10K, you say nothing. They say 12K, you stay silent. Watch the number climb. When receiving criticism, most people crumble or counterattack. Try nodding slowly with 0 verbal response. The critic will either backtrack or expose their true motives. Marcus Aurelius's deadliest tactic. Historians recorded his habit of ending Senate debates by simply standing and walking out. No final word, no justification. His journal explains why. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. Suddenly smile like you've got a secret. Your training starts today. In your next conversation, consciously add 2 extra seconds before responding. When challenged, practice the raised eyebrow plus silence combo. Record yourself weekly. Analyze where unnecessary words leak power. This is the silence of emperors, of CMOs, of warriors. Not the silence of weakness, the silence of absolute self-possession. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write about silence, he lived it. While ruling the Roman Empire, he faced wars, betrayals, and endless pressure. Yet his private journals reveal a man who chose stillness over shouting, wisdom over words. And here's the secret: that same power is yours, right now. Think back to the 9 situations we covered today: anger, insults, gossip, victory, listening, provocation, uncertainty, emotional storms, and letting silence speak for itself. Each one is a battlefield where most people lose control. But not you, not anymore. This week, I challenge you to pick just one. Just one situation where you'll replace noise with silence. Maybe it's biting your tongue when a coworker annoys you, or staying quiet when you're desperate to prove someone wrong, or simply listening, truly listening, instead of waiting for your turn to talk. And when you do this, something strange will happen. People will lean in. They'll wonder what you know that they don't. Because in a world addicted to hot takes and knee-jerk reactions, silence isn't just golden, it's revolutionary. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 9 situations hit closest to home? Type it in the comments. Maybe it's anger or gossip or the power of a pause. And if you've ever regretted not staying silent, share that too. Your story might be the nudge someone else needs. Remember, the Stoics didn't preach silence because they were weak. They practiced it because it was the ultimate strength. Your next move: say less, win more,